Welcome to The Twist, America's only clothing optional podcast. This is Mark McNease in New York City with my co-host
Rick Rose. And I'm going to sing it someday in Shreveport, Louisiana. Hi, Mark.
You should. I love that energy, and viewers and listeners might get into it too. You still, it's no big thing, but your video's just choppy. It's like always choppy. What is that about?
I lived in Japan for a period of time, okay, Mark, and that's how you just automatically look like you're in a Japanese film that doesn't sync up.
Well, plus I know that we've always had a punk ethos. Back in the 80s, when punk was starting, it's like they were really anti-music establishment, and like they didn't know how to play instruments, they didn't care, they just got up and did their thing, and that's what made them so powerful and popular. So that's kind of like us, we don't have the green screen, we don't have the studio crap, we're just you and me doing it.
Raw, baby, raw. But you know what? When I watch back, like I was on the airplane traveling home last week, for those of you that watch this on YouTube or heard us on our podcast, I was with Mark actually last Wednesday, Mark. So we could go today, wouldn't it?
Was Something it like that? We could go today?
No, it was Tuesday. You're right. It was
because we did a show on Wednesdays.
You're right. But then I was traveling back and watching YouTube videos of us to check quality control because I know that damn Twisty, our intern, is still on vacation.
No. Well, actually, you...
What? Mark, you did not. Mark,
no, I was going to say... See, now I can't do my thing, but that's okay. What do Mariah Carey and the Twist podcast have in common?
You could do it anyway. What, Mark?
Technical difficulties. I was going to say that last week, the reason I sounded tinny with that whole 6 feet of air sound is because Twisty, our intern, forgot to switch the input to my microphone. C has been given a verbal warning, and C does self-identify as C, by the way, which we totally respect that.
Is it spelled with a Z, isn't it? Z-H-E?
No, it's S-E, I thought.
I thought it was Z-H-E. We have to look that one up.
That.
For our trans-friendly folks, that's actually, just so you know, it's a phrase that transgender folks can use.
His brother goes by they.
I can't keep up with you. I'm cisgendered, Mark. That's all I know. For today, last time I looked,
and not only that,
cisgender.
Well, I was going to say, Bristol Palin, the cis thing made me think of Bristol Palin, who was like blashing out on Facebook last week about the stars who won't do the inauguration, and she referred to Elton John and other sissies. Now, I wonder. Well, I love the word sissy. I really love the word swish, and I'm hoping that that's one of the words that comes back in 2017. Can I just talk a little bit about my recipe for success for 2017?
Yeah, but to set it forward, the recipe is going to set the tone because our show is about 2017 predictions, folks. And then, of course, I'll have a final thought. Mark will have a final quote, and we'll bid you adieu for the week. But yes, Mark, what is your recipe for success?
Well, it's also about moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not off Facebook, but I said I'm not putting my life on Facebook anymore. I have my reasons. I'm not doing that. It's compulsive and addictive, and like here I am at the dentist, and here I am at the doctor's office, and this is bullshit. I don't want to do this, and it's wasting my time. So Facebook now, at least for now, is only for special things, things that I want to put up there or connect with certain friends. But I'm not doing the, like here's my life in a fish bullshit anymore. I'm starting every morning out with, do you see it? Protein drink.
Oh, nice. Wow, look at you go. You mentioned that last week. Is that the secret to success?
No, but it's part of my weight success this year. And here's the protein powder. I put 2 scoops of that.
You got to show it. Come on, move it in a little bit. Technical difficulties. Move it in a little bit.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, protein
because
powder.
It's Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's protein powder, 2 scoops of that, some soy milk, strawberries, blueberries, and I'm good to go. And that's my breakfast. And it works.
That sounds good. Well, mine rolled out on the floor last night. I opened the refrigerator and all my blueberries for my smoothie protein shake rolled out on the floor.
Did you pick them up?
Well, I did actually. I'm one of those only people. I caught like a 5 a.m. flight. So I was at the airport at 3:30 yesterday morning, your time. Got home here at 10 a.m. so I could still roll into work. Did a full day and had 10 people over for cocktails last night. I can do that, Mark. And they were all in the kitchen. I can do that. And you know how parties, I have a beautiful house, and all the party, when you have a party, they all sneak into the kitchen. I think we all know that. Parties are meant to be in the kitchen for whatever reason. So I had them all in there. I opened the refrigerator to get out some mixes, and they went all over the floor. So in answer to your question, yes, I have some great friends. Amy and Yancy and Courtney were all down on their knees picking up my blueberries. And they said it's that rule, like you can rinse them off, and
Now,
reuse them. So
is the kitchen where they do the edibles? You talked about
uh,
edibles last week.
I did.
Yes, you said you were over edibles and you were over Fitbits. And by the way,
Oh, yeah. No, 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 no. My parties, they don't do that because they know I'm against that shit. Every other party I go, Superman,
no,
Fitbit.
no. See, with the blaze on my left hand, which I like, I now put a watch on my right hand because I think this is a fashion statement, and it's not something you see everybody doing. It's a watch on one hand and a blaze on the other.
So pretty soon you're gonna have like a Apple cock ring.
I don't know. Maybe not Apple. Maybe Microsoft is coming out with something.
Well, she's not. She's not here to ask. So
No, she'll be back on Thursday next
can't,
week.
I can't do it. All right, let's move on with the show. But I want to show you my energy drink. Is Ralph and Kaku's coffee cup this morning? Drinking some good Louisiana coffee. Have you brewed yours yet? That I brought you as a gift.
Oh yes, I loved it. It was
Oh my god! I just had a technical guffaw to my ear.
difficulty.
Yeah. Well, good. Enjoy that coffee.
Are we ready for
Get on
some
with
red
some-
lines?
That's twisted. Yes.
Yes, that's twisted.
Twisted news.
Should we just like alternate? Do
Yeah,
want
you
to do
start.
one? Okay,
You start, buddy boy.
I don't know if you paid attention to the whole Will and Grace are coming back thing, but
I did. Leslie Jordan broke the news. My little buddy.
yes, but I don't
Yes.
know that it's true. Deborah Messing sort of indicates that it's everybody's living a fantasy to think that.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, well, Leslie Jordan, who I think you know personally,
Yes, I directed him in a show.
said that they are indeed going to do 10 episodes of Will and Grace, taping in July. I don't know if it's when it's going to air. Okay, what you got?
That's your twisted news?
No. We're going to alternate. What you got?
Oh, no, you start because I think you have 4.
Oh, then you want me to? Oh, I'll just go through them all. That's okay.
No. You go, then I go. Oh, that was your twisted headline?
No, I have 4 of them. I thought we would go Mark, Rick. We don't have to.
Okay, I'm going. Retired politician accused of molesting a 103-year-old former in-law. Yes, Mark. This happened at a nursing home. Workers told police they saw it more than once. It turns out the guy from Pennsylvania, up until 1995 or 2005 or something, was on the Radnor Township board. 75 years old, 3 counts of indecent assault on a person with a mental disability, that person being his former mother-in-law. That's twisted.
It is twisted, and there's a deeper, sadness to that because they're of elder abuse, and people in nursing
Yes.
homes are very easily prey for like just really disturbed people. Mine is a Dude Ranch owner asked the chef for black people food.
Well, there you go.
Madeline Pickens wanted the African American chef. By the way, I'll do that some other time. Wanted the African American chef she recruited from the country club she owns in Southern California to cook, quote, black people food, not white people food, at her rural Nevada Dude Ranch and Wild Horse Sanctuary, according to a federal lawsuit accusing her of racial discrimination. So there you go. I don't know what.
That's disgusting.
It's just.
What are people thinking?
But it's
Hey,
also kind of
Katniss.
funny. I want gay people food. Don't you?
Here's a good
That's the
one.
best.
Yeah, it's kind of old news now. It happened January 1st, but it's not old when you look at archives for our show because it's cool to look back and say, hey, what happened on this day?
Always
the
plugging
beginning of
our own
2017.
show. Always plugging our
Hooray
archives.
for Hollyweed! An iconic sign is altered. Someone finally claimed they did it. Zach Fernandez hoped for rain New Year's morning to help him better disguise what he was doing. He got up with the help of his friend Sarah Fern, both artists. Well, at least they're claiming they're the ones that did it. Converted the Hollywood sign to Hollyweed in honor of the new law allowing marijuana use. So hooray for Hollyweed, an iconic sign is altered.
Now, did you know that was done back in, I think it was 73 or something like that? It's been done
76.
before.
Yeah, it was done in 76. And he said he was paying homage to that gentleman that did it in 76, too.
I just got 2 more. The Queen, that's the Queen of England that you said is terminally ill or fatally sick. I have not read that. I believe you. I don't think you would make something like that up. And it's very sad. But she honors a same-sex couple who are Olympic hockey champions. A same-sex couple who won golds at the Rio Olympics have been recognized by the Queen. Kate and Helen Richardson Walsh have been named in the New Year's honors list along with the rest of the winning team. I'm sorry. Anyways, that's fabulous. So we've made so much progress as we were about to fall terribly, terribly backward.
Well, it's interesting, and what happens after the Queen does die? Indications that she was sick because she didn't show up for her church service on Christmas Eve, which is big to her. When you think about it, she's like the ruler, not the ruler, but the whatever. I mean, Power of the Queen is the fictitious leader or champion of the people in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, ever since 52, including, the UK. Once ruled, once was over Pakistan, South Africa, Ceylon, Ghana, Nigeria, still over as a leader over the Bahamas, Grenada, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands. Think about that. Anyway, just my point. Hey, my last headline is actually...
No, go on. Read some. You got 12 more.
No, that's it. I'm over it. I'm over that. Okay. Here's some twisted ones. I was going to make it because I think this is very twisted. Janet Jackson gives birth to baby boy at age 50. Yes, you would think that's a headline for the Inquirer, but it's not. It's her first child at 50 years old. She gave birth yesterday. But above it was another headline I got to share. So this is a dual headline because they were both on, my HuffPost feed. Sister Wives' daughter, Mariah, comes out as a lesbian. These are real stories.
Oh,
These
wow.
aren't just Inquirer headlines.
Who's Mariah? Who's sister of what?
Sister Wives. You know that series where that guy's married to more than one woman because he's a polygamist?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, they have a daughter named Mariah. He and one of his wives, and she came out as a lesbian. So those are my twisted headlines.
Excellent. I just have one more, and this one I think gives us hope for the next generation because our government is full of old people. Democratic Party, you're not going to agree with me, but can we please get somebody under the age of 60 in leadership in the Democratic Party? I'm tired of it. And the Republicans, by the way, the average age of the leadership is 50-something. In the Democrats, it's 70-something. So here we go. That'll tell you something. Anyways, so they're doing the swearing in of the new Congress. You probably saw this in Paul Ryan's new Congress. He's doing the swearing in thing. And Wisconsin Republican, what's his name? Marshall. Anyways, his son dabbed in the photo. Now, I didn't even know what dabbing was. Did you? Let's dab.
We dab back home all the time.
I don't even know what
as well as my nephews and nieces.
Where the hell did it come from? And then I read that James Corden dabbed, and all these people are dabbing.
Oh, yeah, Mark. It's dabbing.
It's weird, but anyways, the kid did it in the photo. And I just thought that was excellent. It's like, okay, man, your old man's a reactionary Republican, whatever. And the kid's dabbing in a congressional photo. Excellent.
Where have we come? It's 2017. Happy New Year's, everybody. World of dabbing.
Happy New Year.
Lots
Leave
of
it behind, man. Leave it behind.
Leave it behind.
I did. I'm done with it. With 2016,
I was
I'm done
just reading it before we went on live here. I was reading a story about is 2017 going to be more memorable than 2016 and all that stuff. Who knows what the predictions are. I was also watching a documentary a little bit. My friend Lisa was playing before I flew out yesterday. Well, the day before. And remember when Ronald Reagan actually used the predictions of Jean Dixon from the Inquirer?
Yes,
he used her as his kind of leader to make decisions about Grenada and all this other stuff. Remember that?
I do, and I think it's better than tweeting. I'll tell you. I'm governing by tweet. I'd rather have a president who went to a psychic.
In some ways, I would agree. I mean, I think it's interesting, but so I kind of went to a psychic as a podcaster and saw what their predictions were for the year, and kind of did an assembly of what I think is going to happen in 2017 based on those things. But first of all, I think it's Newsweek does this thing where they ask 6 people that write for them the same questions, like who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to win the frickin' World Series and all that. Have you seen that? CNN, I think, does it, actually.
No.
So I think the Cubs are going to win the series again, and I think the Packers are going to win. Yes, and I think the Packers are due for a Super Bowl win this year.
I'm not putting money on the Cubs.
No?
No, they won like the first time in 85 years or something, and no. But if that's what you want to think. I mean, predictions are predictions. You could be right. You could be wrong.
I think so. And I also predict, and I'll let this be, some big comments coming out of the Vatican yesterday about child abuse, that it's, after the Year of Mercy, which ran from November to this last November, where Pope Francis declared the Year of Mercy, he said one thing that is not worthy of mercy is child abuse. And I think he's setting the stage for what's going to still come under his time as our papal leader, about the abuse issues with Catholic priests that's still at bay. But I predict, Mark, that he will win the Nobel Prize in 2017. First Pope to ever do it. I'm really kind of rooting for Pope Francis.
Nobel.
What did I say? Noble?
Noble. Like Barnes and Nobel. Those you got more predictions?
No, no. I have plenty, but I was just basing it on CNN. I thought
Okay,
since they didn't
okay.
ask me my opinions, I would give them. And I am going for Best Picture. I don't think it's La La Land. I think it's going to be Moonlight. You know how much I love that movie. How about you? What you got?
For predictions?
Yeah, just in general.
I don't see enough movies, by the way, to say. I want to see Fences, but I know it's a play. It's a play on film, so it's going to be long and very wordy because they're absolutely true to the text. But I would so
Mm-hmm.
love to see Viola, and I'm a big
Well,
Denzel fan. I think he's a Republican, but I'm a big Viola fan. I love her.
yeah, I got word last night that it's definitely going to win. I heard that it's going to win
She's going to
Best
get
Picture and the
Best Supporting.
Best Act. Is
She's
it
up for
supporting?
well in Golden Globes. I don't think the Oscar noms are out yet, but
No, they're not.
they put her up for supporting in Golden in whatever in Golden Globes.
I don't know how that all works, but I think they're both worthy and possibly will win awards. I guess you're right.
Now here are my predictions for 2017.
Yes, sir.
My life will be fabulous.
I
It's
love
already
it.
that. It's already that. I mean, the difference between me now and me 2 weeks ago. But it was so important for me to do a cleanse. Like I've talked about that. With the shingles was a turning point. It's like I'm not living the other people's toxicity anymore. I'm sorry. I'm not. I mean, I'm not sorry, but I'm not doing it. I'm I got I'm just not doing it. I cleansed a bunch
Yeah.
of crap from my life. 2017, Twitter will become even more passe than it already is, especially with our tweeting president, with everyone
Mm-hmm.
under the age of 40 finding other social media addictions, which they already are. Twitter, the kids are not really on Twitter anymore. Facebook will finally lose what little appeal it has left, becoming a place for grandparents, fake news, and ads nobody clicks on.
Wishful thinking on your part, but how
No,
about
but I'm
hope
telling you,
possible?
Rick, Facebook, even more than Twitter, Facebook is for old people. Like, I'm sorry, it just is. If you talk to some 16-year-old, 13-year-old, they're not on Facebook. I mean, they have a
I know.
page to keep in touch with their family, but Facebook really is it's for us. It's for the
Yeah, but I'm the first to tell you I use it for scrapbooking. It's my scrapbooking. It's the way I post pictures of where I've been and what I'm doing. So I've never looked at it more than that. But
yes, you have
yeah,
because you were going to drop off.
Mark.
You've had periods where you were going to drop off.
Okay. So maybe I do take it a little more seriously. Okay, so you honestly think that's a prediction? It's not just your wish.
Nah, I'm being funny. You know me. But here's Obamacare. Obamacare will be quote. See there we go the air quotes, which I hate. Obamacare will be repealed in name only, with the GOP's delay plan going on indefinitely, affecting us giving Obamacare without the Obama. I read an article that actually basically said that's probably what's going to happen. They're just going to keep delaying it because they have no replacement plan, and they're just,
Interesting.
slowly it's going to just become part of what it was meant to be, which is part of the fabric. Frank and I signed up, by the way, yesterday. I am starting February 1st. We are with Oscar, which I hope turns out okay because Oscar actually Trump's son-in-law Kushner was an investor in Oscar. He's one of the people behind it. So I thought that's really
Wow.
interesting that they're going to kill this insurance thing that his son's making money off of. Very un-Trump. But anyways, we signed up with Oscar. We'll see. We only stuck with it for a year. Trump will shock the world by. Oh, here's my big prediction. My big
Yeah.
prediction. Trump will shock the world by proving not to be the America-destroying tyrant everybody who didn't vote for him thinks he will be. It's not just that I'm hopeful. I'm also detached, but I just have a feeling he's not. The left just like the right was so like they were convinced that Obama was a socialist and a Marxist and Obamacare was going to destroy the country. I think the progressives can fall into the same trap, and all I hear now is what a tyrant and what a dictator and what authoritarian Trump is going to be, and the American experiment is over. I'm more hopeful than that. I think he may, because I also think that he has an eye on his place in history. Believe it or not, he may be not be the brightest bulb in the firmament, but I think Trump is very aware of what history will have to say about him.
I think it's a social experiment. I think he knows how to play with people, and that's interesting.
I also want to say goodbye to Barack Obama. His list of hits for me is "Don't Ask, Don't Tell" repeal, the Affordable Care Act, yay, LGBT rights, women's rights, improving the lives of people, and being for 8 years a scandal-free president with a
Love
beautiful
it.
wife and kids. There were no extramarital affairs. There were no drug arrests. Obama, he actually has very high approval ratings, which you probably know. And I think part of it is because he's a good guy and he's very intelligent and fair, and he's morally a good person, and we haven't seen that for a while. So there you go.
I agree. You can't applaud him enough. You see these posts that go on from stories like listing all his accomplishments. And I agree. And I think, the whole 8 years he's been in, the TV series Scandal was airing, wasn't it? So for him to be scandalous amidst all, what could happen in Washington is amazing. I think he was a great figure. I think he was a great head of state figure. I think he was a great example of what it means to be a good father and a good husband. I agree. And anyway, love it.
And of evolution, personal evolution, because he did come around. He's a thinking person, and he engages in self-examination, marriage equality, transgender stuff. He's somebody who wants to learn, and he did, and I'm gonna miss him.
And I think about in our former podcasting, we used to have guests on, and we're going to explore that again, folks. But Megan Stabler, we are.
They got to be in one of our houses, because I can't do a three-way.
Well, they can come over here. Like last night, Ken, he's our equal to Twisty, because he listens to us, Mark, and he comments. And I see your microphone in there, and he was telling me what kind of microphone I needed. Ken cares about our show. Oh, good. But Ken was saying last night, I was over with had some friends over, as I mentioned, and they were giving me comments about their predictions for 2017. And he said, yeah, you should go back to having guests on the show. We were talking, like my friend Seth was here last night. We were talking about Megyn Kelly, who's going to play in with my predictions here in a minute. And Seth these are all, a lot of my friends are journalists, and he had explored and saw why she's not going to succeed. It's like Katie Couric hosting the Today Show. She's back, jumped over for this week to host the Today Show. Did you know that?
No, but I really like Megyn Kelly.
Yeah, I do too. And anyway, back to that point, having regular people on giving their commentary on the world, because what makes us any smarter than them? And that would make a good podcast. But anyway, Megan Stabler was on our show, and she was, of course, on the advisory committee on transgender rights and issues under Obama, and said very, very wonderful things too. So my predictions, let's go back to Megyn Kelly. I think NBC is on a rise. I think you're seeing a network that once was kind of floundering. You got the news of Will and Grace. You got My Friends headwriting Days of Our Lives. I got to tell you, I think there's a resurgence there. Even though Joseph Muscala died this year, who played a character named the Phoenix, I think they're bringing him back in some weird way, exhuming him from the dead. I think you're going to find interesting twists on the day part. I think on primetime, and there's some great shows coming to NBC this year. And then, of course, Megyn Kelly moving over to NBC. HBO's True Blood, if you were a fan of that show, those folks are putting together a series on NBC called Midnight Texas, which is going to be very dark. Powerless is going to be the first comedy series set in the DC Comics universe. Some really great things. Celebrity Apprentice, you mentioned it, Donald Trump. He created a beast there with The Apprentice. It's going to continue with Donald Trump. And Emerald City, which launches...
continuing with...
with
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold. Yeah, and I think it's worthy of watching. And I also think Emerald City, which is the adult version of Wizard of Oz. Have you heard of that? That's coming to NBC.
It was like a question on a game show, yeah.
About Emerald City?
Yeah.
So anyway, I predict that it may be minor, but I do think I've always been an NBC fan, and my predictions are...
I know that.
Did you really know that?
Don't you have a tattoo, an NBC tattoo?
Yeah, I sure do. The peacock.
On your butt?
Yeah. It says rain... No, not my butt, Mark. Oh, I also predicted that, with the Star Wars, December 15th of this current year, they're coming out with, episode 8 or whatever. But I think you're going to see the launch, and I don't know what it is yet, of a new Star Wars, Star Trek type movie. Something, we won't be talking in 20 years about Star Wars. I know, God forbid, people are going to tune us out now, or Star Trek. Yeah, I think you're going to see the new Star Wars, Star Trek, Star something. I see it coming.
Okay.
I really do. I also think we're going to see a new 60s. I think that with what's going on with Standing Rock and how that's localizing here in Louisiana, for instance, there's some pipeline movement-wise. And I think, when you look at entertainment, I think Trump is going to go down. I think Lady Gaga is going to go up. She's the halftime show, at the Super Bowl. And I think I think you're going to see a Super Bowl halftime show with a statement. And I think it's going to be the rise of the things that are happening, the Hollywood sign, all this stuff. I think you're going to see an uprising of the 60s. But mind you, 80s fashion, like we talked about last week. I think you're going to see an era of giving over hate. I think to play off of your prediction, let's see how this Trump thing unfolds. I think we've been so focused on the hate that's going to happen, but I think we have to also look at it. I think it's going to be an uprising giving. I also think there's going to be, this is really kind of bold, but a rise in the Midwestern states. I think when you look at global warming, you're going to see a lot of more ghost towns coming to the West Coast. And, as water dries up, I think people are going to go to the 5 Great Lakes. It sounds weird, but it sounds very Gene Dixon. But I think you're going to see a lot of momentum coming out of the Midwestern states. Look at this last election, actually. The power of the vote in Michigan, the power of the vote in Wisconsin. Of course, Wisconsin
very Mad Max, too.
Yeah, it is kind of Mad Max, but I think you're going to see that. I also think, and I'm wrapping it up here, an expansion of Tesla. I'm looking to buy a Tesla in 2018. I'm on the waiting list. I put
Aren't
down
they like
$100,000.
$100,000?
No, the new ones, Mark, and I want to let our listeners know, are coming out in 2018. You can reserve one for $1,000. They're $35,000.
I was going to say, don't ask me for a raise, Rick, to buy your
No,
Tesla.
I know.
I'm not.
No, shit.
I'm
That
on a
money's got to
budget.
go to Z. Z deserves
C.
that. C. But I think Tesla's on the rise. They also own a solar power company. But when you're living in a small town like Shreveport, Mark, and a block away from my house at the Mall St. Vincent, and you see Tesla stations lined up already?
Really?
Yes.
For
Read
plugging the
about
cars
this.
in.
They're going along southern corridor of Highway 20, and they're putting all the stations in. I think you're going to hear us talking about Tesla a lot and people owning Teslas. I think you're going to see it. I think you're also going to see the rise, as you know, in anxiety and sleep issues, which are currently on the rise. I think it's going to be a bigger and bigger issue for us. I sound like Ariana Huffington, but I do think this is an issue we have to look at. And lastly, are you ready?
Yeah.
Besides all things migrating to the smartphone, I think you're going to see the end of laptops. And
No.
yes, I hate to tell you.
No,
I think it's going to
I
happen.
only use it to write. I travel with a laptop to write and just go online and, if I do website stuff. But yeah, it's the laptop sits in the closet.
Yeah, it's so weird. And I think you're going to see the smartphone getting smarter and smarter. Lastly, more toilets in China.
You said lastly the last time.
Well, this is no, it's
That was
preceding
your
this.
penultimate lastly. I got to use the word penultimate. Okay, lastly, go ahead.
Anyway, more toilets in China. I think you're going to see the rise in that country and the rise in their plumbing and toilets to make it more of a travel-friendly country is highly thought out on their part to make them rise as a world power. You watch. Does it kind of make sense in what I'm saying there? It's hard to explain.
Toilets are power?
Toilets are power. When you give people toilet power, they have power. It's hard to
I've sat on some power toilets, let me tell you.
I'm sure you have. Stay away from them. But when you're equal to other countries with your number of toilets, you become a better contender. Anyway, the show's going down the toilet.
Okay.
Let's let it go.
Are we up for final thoughts? Where are we now? We're at final thoughts.
Yeah, I don't know. Where are we with time?
We're almost at 30 minutes. Minus what I cut out.
Okay. Well, no, we're not good at that. I'm going to save that one for next week. It's going to be because we had a special show last week with the new year, and we're having a special show with our 2017 predictions. But I can do it, but I think we should.
You can save it, and I'll just do an end quote.
Yeah, an end quote, and then we'll have it next week. But it's based on a quote from Dalai Lama, guys. Just so you're ready for next week. I'm going to talk about next week. My final thoughts are going to be about how we spent all our time teaching kids knowledge, like it's where they're going to college and how smart my kid is and all that stuff. But do we really brag about their charity work? And do we really brag about the things? Kids are born to be charitable. Kids want to share their toys, and we need to really focus on strengthening the youth of today to be better givers, not just to have knowledge, but to have that ability to be charitable and help others. So that'll be my final thought next week.
Okay. You ready for my final thought for this week? First show of 2017.
Your final quote. Make it a good one,
My
Mark.
final quote. I'm sorry, the end quote. Circling back to super diva Mariah, possibly the greatest diva who's ever lived.
What?
And I saw the New Year's thing. I was watching, and it was okay. It's okay. But it became, of course, this huge story because that's what we do in our culture. We turn things like this into this, 8-day story over something that is worth about 10 minutes. But Mariah did say, and to her credit, after the whole thing, she posted a GIF. You know how people put those little 2-second GIFs online where you see that. Anyway, quote. I'm quoting Mariah Carey. Shit happens. So that's the quote. That was her quote, and that's my end quote. And it's a good quote for the whole year, for last year, for next year.
I love it.
for our entire lives, folks. Remember, shit happens. It's
And it
always
ties in
happened.
with yes, it does, and it ties in with our 27 prediction for more toilets in China, Mark.
Right. It has.
Shit
It's
happens.
always happened. It's always going to happen.
Let's be
So,
prepared.
and relax, man. Just relax. The end of the world is not coming, and you got so much time until you take your last breath. So just chill out. Shit happens.
I love it, Mark. And this has been America's only clothing optional podcast. We forgot to remind
Twist
folks.
with Mark McNeese and Rick Rose, or Rick Rose
See
and
you.
Mark McNeese.
See you
I
next
go back
week
and
when
forth.
C's back. She's
Yep.
coming back next week.
Yes, we'll see you next week on the Twist. Bye.
See ya. Bye.